this small exercise, I want to show the benefits of Flutterflow with a very simple exercise of a CRUD. Okay, we will perform CRUD operation, create, read, update, delete over a database with Flutterflow and Firebase. I will try to make it fast so that you see if you are a programmer or not, but you see how incredibly fast you can perform something that doing it the traditional way would take a lot more time. Okay, so let's go directly into the task. What do we need? We need a Flutterflow account. I will not create a Flutterflow account here. And we need also a Firebase account. Okay, I will not create a Firebase account either. That's you should look on Google or whatever. And once we are in Flutterflow, I need a new project. Here, okay, in Flutterflow, we will create a new project. Project, create new. I will call it CRUD in English. Create blank, CRUD in English, next. Right, here we need the Firebase project ID. So I go to Firebase, here in the settings, and I will create, no, here, sorry, here in this list, click on add a new project. Okay, add new project, and you put the name. I will call it CRUD English, right? CRUD in English, great. Continue, continue. You should select an account, create project. Okay, I'll pause the video. Right, the project it's ready. Continue, done. So now, how can I find the project ID? Here in the settings, and this is the ID. Not the first, not the name, the ID, project ID. Sorry that I have it in Spanish, but just I forgot to change the language. But the second one, okay? Project ID. We copy this, Control C. We go back to Flutterflow. We paste that here, and we click. And here in the initial page, click, and we will be directed to the first page creation. We create in create blank. We click in create blank. We'll call this page home. Create page, and we can finally start building. Okay, we're here. This is the display. I will not go into detail over all the every part because that's covered in my Udemy course. So if you want to learn Flutterflow in more detail, please click on the link in the description. That will lead you to my Udemy course where we, in like 10-12 hours approximately, we cover all in more detail Flutterflow, and we develop a Tinder. Okay, we develop a Tinder clone. But that's not the enough publicity. Let's go back to the task. So here, I will suppose that I will work as if you knew only so that you see the flow. Okay. So in the title, I will say home. I will call it CRUD, and I will create now the layout. So I will bring one container. This container should have a width of 100% and a height of 20%, and a color of background color of here, background color of this one, okay, this color. Another container, I drag it, I bring it here, and this one will have also percentage with 100%, height of 80%, right? Great. Now I need to create a collection. So I come here to the Firestore, right? And I will click on create collection. My collection will be named users. I click on create. It looks like you're trying to create user collection. Would you like us to pre-populate it with default user fields? No, thanks. No, thanks. And I'll start it from scratch. And this collection will have only one field called name. that will be of type string, because at the end of the day, I only want to show you the flow. So it's not really important how many fields we establish. And look at this, we get here 2 warnings that if we click over them, they take us to the right spot where the problem is occurring. And that's magic, that's really great. And the problem is that we need to give more credentials to Flutterflow in order to connect with Firebase. So we are again prompted to get for the Firebase project ID. So I'll get it again. Connect. And I'm getting an error. Look at this. Flutterflow does not have access to this Firebase account. Please add Firebase flutterflow.io, right, as an editor to this project. Okay, if you put this on Google or ChatGPT, you would be directed to the tutorial where this is solved, but I know it by memory. And the problem is that we need to enable a new user, okay, that will be this user, and that will have permissions to edit our Flutterflow, our Firebase platform, okay. So now if I try again, you see the new user is added. If I click on connect, now I get this icon, which means that everything is successfully connected. Great. So let's go back to the Firestore collection and success. Here I get the success icon. Okay. What will I do? I will come here to Firestore, and you should see here in build Firestore database. Click over there, and you should click on create database. Click on that button and leave the permissions. Now it's not really in production, you should leave it like this, but for this exercise, leave it open, okay? So that we are not annoyed with permissions of writing, although remember that in production, this would be a big mistake. Next, where it should be located, Europe for my case, enable. And we have here the database. I will create a users collection, okay, users. And I will create a new, the first user, name, John, okay, save. And here it is, users collection, user save. User with the names John, okay, great. So we have now all the necessary to do the first of the operations, that will be the read operation. So here in the container, I will create a column, inside the column a row, and inside the row a text. In the column, I will put 5 pixels, 5. In the row better, okay, in the row 5 pixels in the left and 5 pixels in the right. And at the level of the column, look, I'm selecting the column. Here there is an option called backend query. I click on the backend query and I will add a backend query. A query collection, okay. There are many things here, as I told you, this is all covered in my Udemy course. So publicity again, if you want to continue, go to the link in the description. Query collection will get us all the documents. From which collection? Users, right? A list of documents, confirm. And now, yes, confirm, great. And now, in the text field, this each of the rows will be one of the one of the items that we have in the database. So if we have only one, we will see only one row. If we have 10, we would see 10, right? So I select the text, and here in the text, I select this button, and I will specify that this should be the user's document name, okay? Let's see. We have 2 bugs here. Project user not uploaded, okay? Oh, sorry. Click on this error because I forgot to click on this button. We click here, generate files. I thought this was done before already. Well, anyway, in case you see the error, click again to fix that these new configuration files that are necessary. Okay, yeah, but perhaps I didn't do it because I didn't see the Firebase setup complete, and now I don't see the errors anymore. Sorry for that. Let's go back to the application and name. Yes, name. And here in this icon, we launch it. We launch it, and this will create like a URL where our application will be rendered, and we can play with it to test it manually. Okay, yeah, here it is. You see, John. So we have John here. If I come to the database and I add a new user, name Peter, okay? So it's working. The read operation is working. Let's go now for the create operation, okay? The C. So we come to the other container and I will click in add. I will add a row, inside the row, a text field, a widget of type text field, and an icon, okay? An icon button, and the icon button will be of this type. Yeah, the plus icon. Yeah, plus icon. I like it. I like the plus icon, and I will put it with the color of this color, blue. Some hint text. We will say username. Okay. And now in the icon button there is here an option called actions. So click here and click in add action, and this will add an action of type Firestore, which is the name of our database, create document, right? Which collection? Users. Which field should I add? The name field should be from a specific value? No, from a variable. Which variable? The one that you find in the widget state. This is the state of the widget, okay? And the text field that we just created called username. Great. Great. So that's it. Let's try it. Let's test it. I refresh. Remember to click on the instant reload to get the changes. Otherwise, the changes will not. You would be testing over an old version. A new user, Laura. You see, Laura, Jenny. Great. The create operation. It's also. I will put here some padding. Okay, not really relevant, but yeah, much better. Okay, create read, it's done. Let's go now. Did you notice how quickly we did it? Like, it was less than a minute, and those who know about programming know that this takes like doing this by code, it takes a lot of time, or at least much more than 1 minute. So here is where you can see how shiny and brilliant Flutterflow for these situations. It's good, you know. So let's do now the delete operation. How will we do it? We go back to the row of where we're loading the data, the users, and I will add an icon button of, and this I will make it to. I will select the row to make the elements sparse. You see, like to take all the like this to spread out. Okay, and this button will be now. I select the button and I change for the delete color red, icon color red, and this will perform the action. So we select the icon button. We come back to the actions, add an action, Firestore, delete document, okay? Which document? Since the row gets access to the user document, inside the user document there is something called user reference. And please notice that the other two elements are in red. And this is done because if you were selecting any one of these ones, you would be creating an error. So it's really amazing how they lead you to the right direction, and they avoid bugs and errors by not letting you click. If I try to click here, nothing happens. So it's really good in this, like, to reduce the amount of errors and problems when you are working. We confirm, and I think that's it. Let's reload, instant reload. And now I want to delete Laura, delete it. Jenny, delete it. And if we go to the database, we can see that exactly, Laura, we have only John and Peter. If I create now Jessica, here we have Jessica, okay? So create, read, delete are working. Let's go now for the last one, which is the update. That is a bit more complicated. Not a lot more complicated, but a little bit. And to achieve that, we need another button. So I will click here, another icon button, right? I will put it before, so I will change the position by selecting and dragging. And this button will be the one of edit. This one, okay? And when we click here, we will navigate to another page. We will pass to the other page, the document, and the other page will be in charge of performing the operation, okay? So we need a new page. How do we create a new page? Here, new page, that will be blank edit will be the name, okay? We create the page. We have two pages here, home and edit. The title will be edit user. And this page, when we click on the button, we will add an action of navigate to edit, okay? But we need to pass something, like, okay, we go there, but we also give information to the other page. Which information do we need? The user document. And that, in this syntax, is called parameter, okay? So we need to define a parameter, right? We need to define a parameter, sorry, that was my face there. And you have to click here, define parameter, and that takes you to the edit page. And inside the edit page, on the right, we see the parameters field. We click here, and the parameter name will be the user document, right? Of type document, because it will be a document from a database. Which type of document? User, a user document, okay? So we confirm it, and there we have the parameter created. And now I've been taken back to the place where I was in the home, and now I can pass the user document, right? That will be selected from the user document query that was done in the column. And we will pass the whole document, okay? The whole document. We confirm it, great. So we're navigating, and we will to the other page. Let's see if this works. I reload. And if I click here, I navigate. That's working, perfect. And how do we load now? Here, well, here, now we have already the document somewhere. And what I will do is I will come to the home, I will select this whole container, right click, copy, okay, copy, right click, copy. And I will right click, paste. Great, we have already the whole thing almost done. And we need to change only, I will do that here, the text field, it's already populated with an initial value that will be the one of the document that I have received. How do I select it? I click here, and you see page parameters, the user document that I'm receiving through the action of navigating. I want the user document, and I want the property of name, okay? So here we would see the name that of this user. And in the button, now we have to change something. In the actions, I will click open, and I have here, when I want to do actions more sophisticated and more steps, this is the place to go. We don't want to create a document because that would create new objects. What we want to do is to update an existing document. So we change the action to update document, select reference, and the reference will be the user's document, reference. Yeah, properties, the reference. The reference is the ID, the position of where can be found this document in the database. We confirm it, and after this is done, we want to navigate back to the home page. Okay, and I think we have it. I think let's test it. I reload. Okay, so we already. I want to edit Jessica. Jessica, you see the area is pre-populated with the name Jessica Sanchez. Click here, and something went wrong. Something went wrong. It was not updated. Let's see why. Why it's not? Perhaps I didn't reload it. The icon button, it's updating the document. I forgot to add the field. You see, the field to update will be the name, and we get the name from the variable that you can find in the widget state in the text field of the page edit. Okay, sorry. Now it will work. I reload it again. Remember that you don't need to save, like it's everything automatically saved. It's something also really, really fantastic that you don't need to be clicking save all the time. And it's always automatically being saved for you. Great. So let's edit Jessica Sanchez. Yeah, you see, Jessica Sanchez. Fantastic. Jessica Sanchez, John Smith. We edit, and it's also working. We want to delete, we want to add a new one. Lena, Len. We want to, great, it's working. This is a CRUD, and it was really easy to do it with Flutterflow and Firebase. Of course, there are many things that we haven't covered, and but in essence, all the apps and all the websites are, if we make a reduction to the most simple explanation, CRUDs, like there is data, front end, back end, and they communicate, creating, reading, updating, deleting. Of course, it's more complicated than that, but making an oversimplification, we could say that everything is a CRUD in the IT world, no? Approximately. And that's it. You have seen that we have achieved it in really record time. This is where Flutterflow really shines. Of course, there are more things. This tool is big. There are many options, many things, and cannot be learned in 20 minutes. I'm not going to lie to you. If you want to learn more, description, link of that goes to my Udemy course, and there we cover all the more in detail, all the parts, and we create a Tinder clone. Okay? See you. Goodbye.